Have you ever felt, at some point, that there's something more, something beyond the reality that the world tries to show you? A feeling, a subtle intuition, as if there's a hidden mystery, something beyond common understanding, waiting to be discovered? And what if I told you that within you lies a deep and unexplored force, capable of transforming your entire reality? A force that, without realizing it, most people let slip through their fingers day after day. This force has a name, and that name is celibacy. Perhaps when you hear this word, you imagine repression or denial, an outdated concept, or even something ridiculed by society. But what if I told you that celibacy isn't what you think it is? What if, instead of being a practice of abstinence, it's a secret key to something far more powerful, a tool capable of transmuting your energy into something sublime, purified, and transformative? And what if, by choosing this practice, you were merely beginning to access a power that most people can't even comprehend? Since ancient times, spiritual masters, alchemists, and secret societies have known the secret behind celibacy. They knew it wasn't about denying something, but about channeling a pure and vital energy, creating space for a deeper connection with the highest aspects of ourselves. So, why has this principle been kept hidden? What is so profound, so revealing, in the practice of celibacy that caused it to be concealed from the masses over the centuries? The truth, perhaps, is closer than you think, but only those willing to awaken, to look beyond appearances, will truly be ready to perceive this transformative force. What would you do if you knew this force was within you, waiting to be discovered? What really happens when you preserve your energy? Imagine for a moment that within you exists a vast reservoir of energy, a vital force so powerful that if used correctly, it can transform every aspect of your life. This isn't just a distant theory. It's a real, profound, and transformative practice that great spiritual masters and sages throughout history have used to reach extraordinary levels of power and achievement. And you, by becoming aware of this force, can access unimaginable potential within yourself. Sexual energy, normally associated with physical pleasure, is actually one of the most creative and potent forces in the universe. Not only does it give rise to life, but it also has the power to move civilizations, alter destinies, and connect you to dimensions far beyond what your eyes can perceive. But what if I told you that the true power of this energy doesn't lie in its impulsive release, but in its retention, transmutation, and channeling into something higher and more transformative? What happens when you choose to preserve this energy rather than dissipating it uncontrollably? Here's the secret that few talk about. When you retain your energy, your body and mind begin to operate in a completely different way. Your mental clarity intensifies, your presence becomes more striking, and your ability to attract what you desire increases almost magically. And that's just the beginning. Something inside you begins to awaken. You start to perceive a new layer of reality, a deeper understanding of what once seemed insignificant. The veil of illusion begins to unravel, and you begin to understand, clearly and revealingly, how society has been designed to keep you distracted, consuming, and weakened. Now, with this awareness, you have the power to change the course of your life, transcending the limitations that have been imposed on you. Why has this been hidden from you? Think for a moment. Why were you never seriously taught about this? Why isn't celibacy, this powerful practice of energy preservation, widely discussed in schools, churches, or everyday conversations? The answer is simple yet powerful. A person who has control over their vital energy is a person impossible to control, and a person who awakens to this truth becomes a being of immeasurable power, capable of creating their own reality. Throughout history, numerous figures who mastered the principle of celibacy achieved extraordinary feats. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest geniuses of science, practiced celibacy and firmly believed it was the key to his genius. Leonardo da Vinci, the master of art and invention, also made celibacy a constant practice in his life. And Buddha, by transcending the cycles of human suffering, used the sublimation of this energy to attain enlightenment. These men, by understanding the power of celibacy, accessed levels of creativity, clarity, and consciousness that few could ever imagine. These great masters knew exactly what they were doing. They understood that by controlling their vital energy, they could access levels of consciousness, creativity, and power that were unparalleled. Now you too have the knowledge, but like everything in life, knowledge alone is not enough to transform your reality. What truly changes is what you decide to do with this knowledge. You can choose to ignore it and continue living your life the same way, or you can decide to experiment with this practice, explore the power of celibacy, and observe for yourself what happens when you start channeling your energy into something greater, deeper, and infinitely more powerful. The secret path. What happens when you awaken? Now, if you've made it this far, it's because something inside you has been touched. Perhaps it's a growing restlessness, a curiosity you can no longer ignore, or even a sense that the truth has always been right in front of you, but you weren't ready to see it. The door has been opened, and once this happens, there's no closing it. Celibacy is not a fleeting practice, but a profound ritual that resonates in every aspect of your life. The journey begins here, and are you ready to move forward? When you consciously choose to retain your vital energy, something begins to happen inside you. Your body reacts in a unique way, your mind expands, and your soul awakens to something that goes far beyond your current perception. Every choice you make along this path opens new doors, unlocking potentials you never imagined existed within you. And as you advance, something more begins to manifest, a power you may not have even known you possessed, a transformation that goes far beyond the physical or mental. But what really happens when you choose to take this step? What occurs when you decide to walk through unknown territory, opting to retain your energy and direct it towards something greater? This is the true power of celibacy, and it's waiting to be revealed. Now the choice is yours. Are you ready to awaken? The signs of transformation. The journey of celibacy is marked by changes as deep as they are mysterious. In the first days, you may feel a wave of energy coursing through your body, as if something is awakening from the inside out. Your physical stamina increases, your endurance improves, and your mind begins to clear in a surprising way. But as days turn into weeks, the changes become even more intense, complex, and often perplexing. You begin to notice the details of life with an uncommon intensity. The words of those around you carry hidden meanings, as if every sentence is a key to something larger. Patterns that once seemed invisible now reveal themselves clearly, and what once controlled you, whether it was procrastination, insecurity, or addictions, begins to lose its grip on you. There's a sense of liberation, as if something inside you is finally aligning, finding its true purpose, and the energy that once dissipated now accumulates within you. But this energy doesn't stagnate. It moves, expands, refines itself in a way you never imagined was possible. Many begin to notice an increase in their personal magnetism. People around you start to notice something different about you. A more intense gaze, a stronger presence, a more visible confidence. You no longer go unnoticed, but what's happening to you is just the surface of something much deeper. The connection with the invisible. Celibacy, in many spiritual traditions around the world, has always been considered a portal to the spiritual. From the mystics of the East to the hermits of the West, the retention of vital energy has been seen as a key to accessing higher levels of consciousness. When you choose to retain your energy, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your vibration shifts, your energetic body strengthens, and your intuition sharpens. You begin to pick up signals that once went unnoticed. Things that before seemed like mere coincidences now begin to reveal themselves as part of a deeper pattern. Dreams become more vivid, moments of synchronicity increase, and what once seemed random starts to make sense. Your reality begins to adjust in subtle but powerful ways. You realize that you're no longer just reacting to the world around you, but now you're actively co-creating your experience. Something inside you is expanding, and with it, the layers of your perception begin to unfold. However, there's a crucial detail. Not everyone is prepared for this transformation. Many feel fear at confronting their own power, at dealing with this accumulated energy. They feel the temptation to return to old patterns, to dissipate this energy and return to their comfort zone. After all, there's something safe about familiarity. But those who persist, who refuse to turn back, begin to discover what few know: true control over their own existence. The journey of transformation. If you've come this far, it means something has already changed within you. A spark has been lit, and now a new journey is beginning. But be aware that this journey will not be easy. As the ancient sages used to say, great power demands great sacrifice. By choosing to walk this path, you are breaking with deeply ingrained patterns, challenging not only your own impulses, but an entire system that benefits from your weakness, your distraction, your lack of control. Have you ever wondered what happens when you choose to step out of the current, when you decide to take the reins of your destiny and no longer be dragged by external forces? What happens when you dare to take control of your life, your energy, and create your own reality? This is the great question, and the answer is in your hands. The path to true transformation begins now. Are you ready to move forward? The hidden challenges. Who benefits from keeping you trapped? From the moment you decide to retain your energy, something curious begins to happen. Temptations increase, distractions become more intense. Your mind will try to convince you that it's not worth continuing, that this path is harder than you imagined, and that instant gratification would be much easier to achieve. Your resistance will be tested in unexpected ways, but pause for a moment and ask yourself, why does this happen? Why does the decision to maintain your energy seem so challenging? The answer, as unsettling as it may be, is hidden right before your eyes. There is an invisible game being played, a game that few are fully aware of. The world around you, in many ways, is designed to keep you trapped, to keep you distracted, to keep you weak. It's no coincidence that everywhere you look, everything encourages instant gratification and rampant consumption. It's no coincidence that the idea of controlling your energy is ridiculed or ignored. Distracted people are easy to manipulate. Those who do not master their own energy become slaves to their impulses, swept along by an invisible current. But those who awaken, those who begin to apply the knowledge of energy control, become dangerous to the system. Now you begin to understand why so many spiritual masters withdrew from the ordinary world, why monks, warriors, and sages adopted celibacy as a path to power. They knew something that most ignore. Self-mastery is the key to unparalleled freedom. The question now is, are you ready to face the challenges that come with this knowledge? Are you prepared to take the next step and truly take control of your destiny? This journey is just beginning. The darkness before the awakening. There is a moment on every seeker's path where everything seems to crumble. Temptation arrives with an unexpected force. The mind becomes a true defender of the old self, creating excuses and justifications to return to the comfort of ignorance. The world around you will seem to test you in every possible way, testing your patience, your endurance, and most importantly, your conviction. This moment is known as the dark night of the soul. It is the phase when everything inside you seems to scream to give up. Old patterns, those deeply ingrained, try to pull you back into unconsciousness. You will be challenged to confront your deepest shadows, to question your choices and your journey. But it is also in this moment that those who persist begin to experience true ascension. If you resist, if you push through this test, something inside you will break open. A veil will be torn. You will feel an indescribable energy and clarity. Your emotions, once volatile and uncontrollable, will stabilize. Your presence will become magnetic, and your mind will begin to operate in an expanded state of perception. Then you will see the truth with new eyes. The transformation that once seemed impossible will become your new reality. This is the turning point, where light begins to emerge from the darkness. What no one told you about true freedom, here lies the greatest secret of all. True freedom is not found in immediate gratification, nor in the relentless pursuit of unchecked pleasure. True freedom lies in the absolute mastery over oneself. When you govern your energy, you govern your mind. When you govern your mind, you govern your emotions. And when you govern your emotions, no one can control you. You become a rare being. A human who cannot be manipulated, who cannot be knocked down, who cannot be seduced by false promises or fleeting distractions. This is the greatest fear of those who profit from the weakness of others. They don't want you to discover this. They don't want you to realize that by retaining your energy, you become an unstoppable force, an entity capable of transforming your own reality. But now, you know, the secret has been revealed, the path of the immortals. What happens when you cross the limit? You feel it already, don't you? Something inside you has changed. Once this knowledge has been revealed, it can never be erased. You may try to ignore it, but it will continue to echo in the background of your thoughts, reminding you that there is something greater, a destiny waiting for you. But the journey does not end here. It has only just begun. What happens when someone fully immerses themselves in mastering this energy? What are the limits of this practice? And more importantly, is there even a limit? Ancient records speak of men and women who reached such elevated levels of power that they seemed to transcend the common laws of existence. Warriors who felt no pain, monks who went years without eating or sleeping, sages who foresaw events before they happened. Could these be mere myths, or is there something deeper and truer behind these stories? If there is a secret that humanity has forgotten, it lies here in the practices that have been neglected or hidden over the centuries. What you are about to discover goes beyond common understanding. It lies with those who dared to transcend the limits of what seems possible. And you now are about to walk this path. The lost code, the forbidden wisdom. If you study ancient civilizations, you'll start to notice a recurring pattern. In almost all spiritual traditions, the retention of vital energy was taught as one of the most powerful and essential principles. In ancient China, Taoist masters practiced internal alchemy, using this energy to strengthen their bodies and even extend their lives. In Egypt, priests performed purification rituals where the preservation of sexual energy was seen as a prerequisite to access the deepest mysteries. In India, yogis developed techniques to transform this energy into pure spiritual power, activating hidden centers within the body. And then this knowledge disappeared, or rather, it was hidden. Have you ever wondered why none of this is taught in schools? Why modern science ridicules the study of this vital energy? Why society does everything to make you spend your vital energy at all times? The answer is simple. A human being who masters their energy cannot be controlled. Imagine a world where people weren't slaves to their impulses, where every individual had the power to create their own reality, where no one could be easily manipulated by fleeting pleasures and empty distractions. Now understand this, that world already existed, but it was erased from history. The few who still hold this knowledge are those who have learned to read between the lines, to decipher hidden symbols, to connect the dots. Have you started to see these connections? If so, keep going, because we're about to go even deeper. The internal portal, awakening the sleeping power. Now that you understand the value of energy retention, it's time to learn how to channel this force. Many fail on this journey because they simply try to hold the energy but don't know how to direct it effectively. The energy accumulated inside you is like a river about to overflow. If it is not directed properly, it can turn into restlessness, insomnia, or irritation. But if you know how to guide it, something extraordinary will happen. Here are 3 fundamental principles that the ancient masters used to channel this energy into something greater. Transmutation through movement. The body is a conductor of energy. When you retain your vital force, your body needs a way to distribute it. Ancient warriors practiced martial arts. Yogis developed specific postures and breathing techniques. Monks took long walks in active meditation. The secret is simple. Move. Train your body. Practice exercises. Learn martial arts. Run. Dance. Anything that makes the energy circulate rather than stagnate. Transmutation through breathing. The breath is the bridge between the body and the mind. Breathing consciously can profoundly transform your inner energy. Taoist masters developed techniques to elevate energy from the base of the spine to the top of the head, activating abilities that seemed supernatural. Try breathing deeply, holding the air for a few seconds before releasing it. Focus on directing your energy upward and feel it expand within you. Transmutation. Through purpose, nothing is more powerful than directing your energy towards something greater. If you simply retain your energy without purpose, sooner or later, it will dissipate. But if you channel it into the creation of something grand, whether it's a project, a life mission, or profound learning, this energy will transform into fuel for accomplishment. Ask yourself, what is your mission? What are you here to build? The world is full of distractions, but the great achievers are those who know how to channel their energy to create, transform, and leave a legacy. Will you be one of those achievers? Beyond human limits, the secret of the immortals. If you've come this far, it's because something within you refuses to stop. There's something deeply resonating in your soul, something that knows reality is not just what we've been told, something that feels the presence of a hidden path, one walked only by those who dare to challenge the limits of the ordinary. Now, you understand the power of retention and energetic transmutation, but the real question arises: what happens when you surpass the final limit? What lies beyond this seemingly endless journey? There are beings who have managed to manipulate this energy to such an extent that they transcended the limitations of body and mind. And this is the secret that has been guarded for millennia. These are not mere legends or fanciful tales. Ancient texts speak of these beings. The Taoists called them Xian, the immortals. For yogis, they were the Mahasiddhas, those who attained powers beyond human understanding. In the West, they were the enlightened, the ascended masters, the children of light, and they all had one thing in common: absolute mastery over their own vital energy. But how can someone reach this level? How is it possible to transform a mortal body into something approaching divinity? Now you're about to discover. The ascension process. What few dare to do. Most people will never go beyond the first level. They will attempt to retain their energy, but without the knowledge or discipline required, they will eventually give in to the vicious cycle that keeps them bound to the limitations of daily life. However, those who advance to higher levels begin to notice profound and almost unrecognizable changes. The body regenerates. The first transformation happens in the physical body. When vital energy is preserved and transmuted correctly, the body begins an accelerated process of healing and rejuvenation. Ancient Taoists claimed that the elixir of immortality was not something external, but rather the result of refined vital energy within the body itself. Today, modern science is starting to understand that retention and hormonal balance might be linked to regenerative processes that slow aging and enhance vitality. But the masters knew this millennia ago. The mind expands. As energy rises within the body, it begins to directly affect the mind. Thoughts become clearer, intuition sharpens, hidden patterns of reality begin to reveal themselves. It is at this stage that many people report profound experiences, lucid dreams, extrasensory perceptions, moments of connection with something greater, an expanded consciousness. And this is just the beginning. Reality begins to respond differently. Here's one of the greatest secrets. When your energy reaches a high level, reality itself begins to shape itself to your presence. Have you ever noticed that some people enter a room and automatically draw attention, or that some seem to have an inexplicable magnetism, a force that seems to alter the course of events? This is no coincidence. This is energy mastery. When your energy is focused and balanced, you emit a unique vibration. People feel it, events begin to align in your favor, and opportunities appear in unexpected ways. The ancients called this the art of silent influence, a power that, when properly used, can mold the world around you. The final portal, the ultimate transformation. If you continue on this journey, at some point, you will find yourself facing a transformation so profound that you will no longer be the same human being who began the path. Vital energy, when transmuted to the extreme, awakens something that has been dormant within you your entire life. The yogis call this force Kundalini. The Taoists call it the inner dragon. The alchemists call it the sacred fire. This is the true rebirth. When this force awakens completely, your entire being transforms. Your body, your mind, your consciousness, everything is elevated to a new state. And here comes the decisive question for those who are ready for this level of transformation. Are you ready to open this portal? Because once it happens, there is no turning back. You will become a being beyond human, operating on a frequency that few can comprehend. The path of the immortals is not easy, but it is the only path that leads to true awakening and transcendence of matter. The final limit is not an end, but a beginning. The final challenge: choose your destiny. Now you know. Now you carry within you a knowledge that few have dared even imagine. Something that many will never have the chance to understand, but which you now possess. And here is the crucial point. What will you do with it? You can close your eyes, ignore this truth that resonated deep within your being, return to the world of distractions, and continue living as if nothing has changed. You can stay in the flow that they taught you, in the comfort zone where transformation seems distant as something reserved only for others. Or you can choose to answer the call, apply this knowledge, test this power, and allow true transformation to happen. You can become the highest version of yourself, see your limits disintegrate, and understand deep within your soul that you are more than you ever imagined yourself to be. But remember one thing: this path is not for the weak. It demands something from you that few are willing to offer: discipline, courage, an unwavering trust in your ability to transcend. And above all, it demands the will to become something greater than what they told you you were. The choice, as always, is yours. But know this, with total clarity, once you awaken, you will never be able to go back to sleep. The veil of illusion will be torn, and reality will never be the same. You will be transformed in ways you cannot even imagine yet, and your destiny will be marked by this choice. The journey doesn't end here. This is only the beginning of something that transcends common understanding, something that cannot be captured in words or explanations. By embracing this path, you are entering a dimension of power and wisdom that can only be understood through experience. Remember that you are not alone on this journey. Every step you take reflects your inner choice, and with every challenge, every doubt, you move closer to your true self, to your deepest power. Life now becomes a fertile field for your intentions, and the universe responds in mysterious yet always meaningful ways. What once seemed distant is now possible. True freedom is within your reach, and it is born from your ability to master the energy that flows within you. So, I ask you, what will be your next step? The choice is yours. The awakening is yours. The power is yours. Now, as we reach the end of this revealing expedition, I want to express my deepest gratitude to you for staying with us until the end. Your dedication and curiosity are the fuel that drives us to explore, demystify, and share these intriguing stories. I want to share something special with you. As a fan of the Map of Higher Self channel, you are about to embark on a unique journey of self-discovery and mental formation. I present to you the Map of Higher Self, a revolutionary ebook that will redefine your mental reality. As the creator of this content and leader of the Map of Higher Self channel, I'm sharing my deepest experiences and valuable lessons with you. Each chapter of this ebook is a reflection of my journey, filled with practical lessons I've lived and transformed into wisdom. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life. Click the link in the pinned comment and start your journey towards self-knowledge and positivity today. Imagine yourself for a moment as one of the ancient explorers who ventured into unknown territories, guided only by the flame of curiosity and the thirst for knowledge. Every piece of information, every symbol deciphered, is like a map leading us deeper into the labyrinth of the unknown. And just like those explorers, you too are now a little closer to the truth, carrying with you a new understanding of the forces that shape our world. Your presence here is not just a personal achievement, but a valuable contribution to a vibrant community of curious and knowledge-seeking individuals. Every view, every comment, every like is a step we take together toward a deeper and collective understanding. You are not just a spectator, you are a partner in this journey of discovery. So, as we close this chapter, I invite you to reflect on today's revelations and prepare for the next steps. We will continue unraveling secrets, questioning established truths, and exploring the mysteries around us. Your participation is essential, not just for the growth of this channel, but for the expansion of our horizon of knowledge. Until the next discovery. And remember, the real power lies in questioning and understanding what is beyond the visible. And before you go, don't miss these 2 videos I've selected especially for you. They're packed with deep knowledge and fascinating discoveries that you'll love. Click on one of them and continue your journey of self-discovery and the pursuit of wisdom with the amazing content our channel has to offer.